Rain hammered the alley like bullets from above. Daniel pressed his back against the wet brick wall and tried to catch his breath. His lungs burned, and his shirt clung to his skin like a second layer. The three boys who had chased him from school were probably still looking, but at least they had not followed him into this dark corner of the industrial district. He hated running. He hated hiding even more. But fighting back only made things worse at home when the school called his mom. So he ran like always. Thunder cracked overhead, and Daniel flinched. The storm was getting worse. He needed to wait it out before heading home. His mom worked the night shift at the hospital and would not be back until morning, so at least he had time. He slid down to sit on the cold concrete, ignoring the puddles soaking through his jeans. That was when he heard it. A clicking sound. Soft at first, then louder. It came from deeper in the alley, near the dumpsters behind the old textile factory. Daniel froze. His first thought was rats. Big ones, maybe, but the sound was wrong. Too rhythmic. Too deliberate. He should have left. Every instinct screamed at him to get up and walk away. But curiosity pulled him forward. Daniel crept toward the dumpsters, using his phone's flashlight to cut through the darkness and rain. The light found something that made his heart stop. A figure huddled against the dumpster, her arms wrapped around itself, shaking violently. The skin was gray-blue, smooth like a dolphin's, and rain ran off it in streams. The head was oval-shaped with large black eyes that reflected his flashlight like a cat's. No nose, just two small slits. The mouth was small and lipless. Daniel's phone slipped from his hand and clattered on the ground. The creature jerked its head toward him. Those huge black eyes locked onto his. For a moment, neither moved. Daniel could not breathe, could not think. This was not possible. This was not real. But it was real, and it was clearly dying. The creature tried to stand on two thin legs, but collapsed immediately. One of its four arms reached toward the dumpster, clawing weakly at the garbage bags. It was trying to eat trash. Daniel saw old food wrappers scattered around it, torn open and licked clean. The clicking sound came again, softer now. The creature's whole body trembled from cold or pain or both. A dark liquid oozed from a wound on its side, mixing with the rainwater. Daniel should have run, should have called someone. The police, the military, someone who knew what to do about aliens hiding in alleys. But all he could see was a living thing suffering in the rain, starving and hurt and scared. He thought about the sandwich in his backpack, the one his mom had made before her shift. Turkey and cheese on wheat bread. His dinner. Daniel picked up his phone and stepped closer. The creature watched him but did not move. Up close, he could see it was small, maybe the size of a 10-year-old kid. Its breathing was rapid and shallow. "Hey," Daniel whispered, feeling stupid for talking to it. "You're hurt." The creature's head tilted slightly. The clicking sound came again, quieter, almost like a question. Daniel unzipped his backpack and pulled out the sandwich. The creature's eyes fixed on it immediately. He unwrapped the plastic and held it out, taking one slow step forward. The creature grabbed the sandwich with two of its hands and shoved it into its mouth. It ate desperately, making small sounds that might have been relief or gratitude or just hunger finally being satisfied. It finished in seconds and looked up at Daniel again. "I have water too," Daniel said, pulling out his water bottle. The creature took it and drank deeply, some of the water spilling down its chin. When the bottle was empty, the creature set it down carefully. Then it did something Daniel did not expect. It reached out one hand and touched his arm gently. The fingers were long and cool and trembling. "You're welcome," Daniel said softly. The creature made a sound, not clicking this time, but something that sounded almost like words. "RRRVVNN. Is that your name?" Daniel asked. "Rivet." The creature nodded. It could understand him, or at least understand the concept of names. Daniel looked around the alley. Riven could not stay here. The storm was getting worse, and that wound needed treatment. But he could not take an alien home, could not hide it, could not explain it to anyone, except he could think of one place. The old maintenance shed 3 blocks away, abandoned for years. He used to hide there himself when things got bad. It had a roof and walls and was dry. "Can you walk?" Daniel asked, offering his hand. Riven took it and struggled to stand. The alien was light, too light, like it was made of hollow bones. Daniel pulled off his jacket and draped it over Riven's shoulders. It was soaked through, but better than nothing. Together, they stumbled out of the alley. Daniel supported Riven's weight and kept to the shadows. The rain helped, keeping people indoors. The 3-block walk felt like 3 miles. The maintenance shed's lock had been broken for years. Daniel pushed the door open and helped Riven inside. It was dark and dusty but dry. Riven collapsed onto the concrete floor, breathing hard. "I'll come back," Daniel promised. "Tomorrow, with food and bandages. Just stay here and stay quiet, okay?" Riven looked up at him with those huge black eyes and made the clicking sound again. Softer this time. It sounded like agreement. Daniel closed the door and ran home through the rain. His mind raced with impossible thoughts. Aliens were real. One was hiding in a shed 3 blocks away, and he had just made the biggest decision of his 14-year-old life. He had decided to keep it secret. 3 weeks had changed everything and nothing at the same time. Daniel still went to school, still dodged bullies in the hallways, still ate lunch alone, but now he had a secret that made all of that feel small and distant. He had a friend from another world. Every day after school, Daniel went to the maintenance shed with whatever food he could smuggle from home. Apples, crackers, leftover chicken. He skipped breakfast most days so his mom would not notice the missing groceries. His stomach growled constantly, but Riven needed the food more. The alien was getting stronger. The wound had healed faster than Daniel thought possible, leaving only a faint scar. Riven could stand now, could walk around the small shed without collapsing, but the alien was still too weak to do much else. Daniel pushed open the shed door and found Riven sitting cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by Daniel's old school books. The alien looked up and made that soft clicking sound that Daniel had learned meant hello. "Hey," Daniel said, dropping his backpack. "I brought chicken nuggets from lunch. They're cold but still good." Riven took the container with 2 hands and ate slowly this time, not desperately like those first few days. While the alien ate, Daniel sat down and pulled out his English textbook. "Okay, where were we?" Daniel asked. "You wanted to learn more words, right?" Riven nodded and pointed to a picture in the book. "A dog. Dog," Daniel said clearly. "D-O-G dog. Dog-G-U-H," Riven repeated, the sounds awkward in that small mouth. "Dagu. Pet friend." Daniel grinned. "Yeah, exactly. Dogs are pets. Friends." Over the past week, Riven had learned maybe 100 words. It was slow going, but the alien was learning faster every day. Simple words first. Food, water, help, thank you. Then harder ones. Danger, hide, secret. But tonight, Daniel had questions he needed answered. "Riven, where did you come from?" Daniel asked slowly, pointing up. "Your home, your planet." Riven set down the food and reached into a fold of the strange fabric that covered part of its body. Daniel had thought it was clothing at first, but it seemed to be attached to Riven's skin somehow. The alien pulled out a small device, about the size of a TV remote, and pressed it. A hologram exploded into the air between them. Daniel gasped and fell backward. Stars filled the shed. Hundreds of them, maybe thousands, floating in 3-dimensional space. Planets orbited in slow motion. Colored lines connected star systems like a giant web. Riven pointed to a blue star near the edge of the display. "Home. Kelhar. My people. Kelhari." "Kelhari," Daniel whispered, staring at the hologram. "You're Kelhari." Riven nodded, then moved its hand through the hologram. The display shifted and zoomed in on a cluster of planets. "We study. We learn. Explore planets. Find new worlds." The alien's English was broken, but Daniel understood. The Kelhari were explorers. Scientists. They traveled to different planets and studied them. Riven's hand moved again, and the hologram shifted to show Earth. Daniel recognized the continents immediately, but something was wrong. Red markers covered the planet like a disease. Numbers scrolled in alien text next to each marker. "What is that?" Daniel asked, pointing. Riven's clicking changed. It sounded sad now. Distressed. "Death world. Danger planet. Hard to live." "Earth is a death world?" Daniel asked. "Because it's dangerous?" "Yes," Riven said, struggling with the words. "Most worlds easy. Calm. Safe. Earth is violence. Storms. Earthquakes. Volcano. Disease. Predators. Everything want kill everything." Daniel had never thought about Earth that way. Sure, there were hurricanes and earthquakes and diseases, but that was just normal. That was life. Humans dealt with it. Most people in Galaxy, Riven continued, moving its hands to show the wider star map again, come from safe worlds. Easy worlds. Garden worlds. Earth is worst. Hardest. Most dangerous. The hologram shifted again, and Daniel's blood ran cold. A massive fleet of ships appeared in the display, hundreds of them, all heading toward Earth. They were huge, each one bigger than a city. They looked like they were made of metal and teeth. "What are those?" Daniel asked, though part of him already knew the answer. "Harvesters," Riven said, and even in that alien voice, Daniel heard fear. "They take planets, strip resources, take everything, leave nothing. They're coming here." Daniel's voice cracked. "To Earth." Riven nodded slowly. "I study Earth. Learn about death worlds. Find pattern. Harvesters always come. Take easy worlds first, then come for hard worlds. Earth is next." "When?" Daniel demanded. "When are they coming?" Riven manipulated the hologram, and numbers appeared. It took a moment for Daniel to understand the alien calendar system, but when he did, his heart sank. 6 months. Maybe less. "I try warn Earth," Riven said quietly. "I try reach your leaders. Tell them harvesters come. But my ship break. Crash. Ship is gone. I'm alone. I'm stuck." Daniel stared at the hologram, at the fleet of nightmare ships heading toward his planet. "Why would they want Earth? You said it's a death world. Dangerous. Wouldn't they avoid it?" "Resources," Riven explained. "Earth has metals, rare elements, water, but also—" The alien hesitated, then continued. "Also humans." "What do you mean, humans?" Daniel felt cold. "They want to hurt us." "Study," Riven said. "Humans are special. Humans survive death world. Survive things that kill most species. Harvesters want to know why. Want study human body, human mind, maybe use for weapons." Daniel felt sick. He thought about his mom at the hospital, his classmates at school, everyone he had ever known. All of them in danger, and none of them knew it. "We have to tell someone," Daniel said. The government. The military. Someone who can do something." Riven clicked sadly. "Who believe boy and dying alien? They think crazy. Think lie. Need proof." "You have proof," Daniel pointed to the hologram. "Show them this." "Device broken," Riven said. "Only show records. Cannot send messages. Cannot call for help. And Earth people not ready. No spaceships. No weapons that work in space. Galaxy think Earth is too young. Too primitive. No one come to help." Daniel sat in silence, watching the hologram of the harvester fleet inch closer to Earth. 6 months. Maybe less. And no one was coming to save them. But then he thought about what Riven had said. Humans were special. Humans survived a death world. Maybe that meant something. Maybe that gave them a chance. "We need help," Daniel said finally. "Someone smart. Someone who can understand this technology better than me." "Who?" Riven asked. Daniel thought about his sister Rebecca. She was studying engineering at the university. She was smart, way smarter than him, and she might actually believe him. "I know someone," Daniel said, "but you have to trust me." Riven looked at him with those huge black eyes. Then the alien reached out and touched Daniel's hand gently, like that first night in the rain. "Trust," Riven said simply. "You saved me. I trust you." Rebecca did not scream when she saw Riven. That was the first surprise. She stood in the doorway of the maintenance shed, staring at the four-armed alien sitting on the floor, and her expression went completely blank. Then she turned to Daniel. "I followed you because I thought you were selling drugs or something. This is so much worse." "Worse," Daniel said. "Becca, this is an alien. An actual alien from space." "I can see that," Rebecca said. She stepped inside and closed the door behind her. "Does Mom know?" "Are you kidding?" "No one knows except us." Rebecca walked in a slow circle around Riven, who watched her cautiously. She was 19, tall and thin with their mom's dark hair and their dad's analytical stare. She wore a university hoodie and carried a backpack full of engineering textbooks. "What's your name?" she asked Riven directly. "Riven," the alien said clearly. Rebecca blinked. "You speak English." "Learning," Riven replied. "Daniel teach." Of course he did, Rebecca muttered. She looked at Daniel. How long has this been going on? 3 weeks, Daniel admitted. I found Riven in an alley during that big storm. Hurt and starving. I couldn't just leave. Yes, you could have, Rebecca said, but her voice was not angry. It was scared. Daniel, this is insane. This is beyond insane. We need to call someone. The government. NASA. Someone. Wait, Daniel said. Just wait. Let Riven explain. Then you could decide. Rebecca crossed her arms but nodded. Fina, explain. Riven pulled out the holographic device and activated it. The stars filled the shed again, and Rebecca's eyes went wide. For the next 20 minutes, Riven explained everything in broken but understandable English. The Kelhari, the Death Worlds, the Harvesters, the fleet coming to strip Earth bare. When the hologram showed the Harvester ships, Rebecca sat down hard on the floor. 6 months, she whispered. They'll be here in 6 months. Maybe less, Riven said. Ship travel time is not exact. Could be sooner. Rebecca was quiet for a long time. Daniel could see her mind working, processing the impossible information. Finally, she looked up at Riven. Why Earth? I mean, you said we're a death world. Why would they bother with such a dangerous planet? Resources valuable, Riven explained, but also humans valuable. Humans special in galaxy. Special how? Rebecca asked. Riven manipulated the hologram to show different alien species. Most people in galaxy come from easy planets. Safe planets. No storms. No earthquakes. No disease. Food is easy. Water is easy. Temperature always same. Life is calm. The hologram shifted to show Earth again, covered in red danger markers. Earth is opposite, Riven continued. Earth has ice age, has flood, has hurricane, has volcano, has predators everywhere, has disease that kill millions. Food is hard, water sometimes poison, temperature change extreme, but humans survive all. Adaptation, Rebecca said slowly. You're saying humans are adapted to survive extreme conditions? Yes, Riven clicked excitedly. Human body, very strong. Human mind, very flexible. Human emotions make groups work together in danger. Most species cannot do this. Most species panic. Most species die on planet like Earth. So we're tough because Earth made us tough, Daniel said. More than tough, Riven said. Humans are survivors. Best survivors in galaxy. Harvesters want study this. Want learn how humans do it. Want maybe make weapons from human genetics. Rebecca stood up and started pacing. Okay. Let me think. We have 6 months, maybe less. We need to warn people. But we need proof that can't be dismissed. The hologram is good, but people will say it's fake. We need something concrete. Device is broken, Riven said. Cannot send messages. Only show records. Can I look at it? Rebecca asked, holding out her hand. Riven hesitated, then handed over the device. Rebecca turned it over carefully, examining every surface. Her fingers traced the smooth, alien metal, looking for seams or openings. This is incredible, she muttered. The engineering is beyond anything I've seen. But if it's broken, maybe I can fix it, or at least understand how it works well enough to prove it's real technology. You can do that? Daniel asked. Maybe, Rebecca said. I'm studying electrical engineering. This is way beyond my level, but the principles might be similar. I need time and tools. She looked at Riven. Can you explain how this works? In simple terms. For the next hour, Riven tried to explain the basics of Kelhari technology. Rebecca took notes furiously in her notebook, drawing diagrams and asking questions. Daniel watched his sister work, seeing the fear slowly transform into focused determination. I think I understand the basics, Rebecca said finally. This device uses quantum entanglement for data storage. That's way beyond current human technology, but the theory is sound. If I can get working again, even partially, it would be proof that this technology is real and not from Earth. How long? Daniel asked. I don't know. Weeks, maybe months. I need parts, equipment, time to experiment. We don't have months, Daniel said. Every day we wait, those ships get closer. Rebecca looked at him seriously. Then we work fast. But, Daniel, even if I fix this, Even if we get proof, who's going to listen to us? We're kids. I'm just a college student. You're in middle school. Riven is an alien that most people won't even believe is real. Then we make them believe, Daniel said firmly. We show them the truth, and we don't give up until they listen. Riven made a soft clicking sound. Daniel saved my life in rain. Show kindness when could run away. This is rare in galaxy. Most species think only of self. But humans have something special. Humans help strangers. Humans work together. This is why humans can fight harvesters. Fight them. Rebecca said, Riven, we don't have spaceships. We don't have energy weapons. We barely made it to our own moon. How are we supposed to fight an alien invasion fleet? Humans survived Ice Age with stone tools, Riven said. Humans survived plague with no medicine. Humans survive predators with no claws. Humans always find way. Earth make humans strong. Make humans creative. Make humans never give up. Daniel felt something stir in his chest. Hope maybe, or determination. Riven's right. Humans are survivors. We've beaten impossible odds before. Rebecca looked at both of them, then down at the holographic device in her hands. Finally, she nodded. Okay, we do this smart. First, I work on fixing this device and understanding the technology. Second, we document everything. Pictures, videos, detailed notes. Third, we figure out who to contact. Someone credible who might actually listen. Military, Daniel suggested. Maybe, Rebecca said. Or scientists. People who work with space programs. We need someone with authority and an open mind. She stood up and tucked the device carefully into her backpack. I'll take this to my lab at the university. They have equipment I can use after hours. But this stays secret until we're ready. Understood. Daniel nodded. Understood. Riven clicked softly. Thank you. Both. For believing. For helping. Rebecca smiled. A small and nervous smile. Don't thank us yet. We haven't saved the world. We just decided to try. 2 months had passed since Rebecca joined their secret. The maintenance shed had transformed from a dusty hiding spot into something closer to a command center. Rebecca had brought in a folding table covered with laptops, tools, and alien technology. Riven was stronger now, able to move freely and speak English with only slight difficulty. Daniel sat on the floor, watching his sister work on the holographic device for the 100th time. She had taken it apart completely, mapping every component, photographing every connection. The device lay spread across the table like a puzzle waiting to be solved. I think I found a problem, Rebecca said, not looking up from her work. The power cell is damaged. It's still generating energy, but not enough to run the communication array. Can you fix it? Daniel asked. Feeks. No, but I might be able to jury-rig something. If I can connect it to a more powerful energy source, it might work long enough to send a signal. Riven leaned over her shoulder, watching with those large black eyes. Signal to who? That's the question, Rebecca said. She sat back and rubbed her tired eyes. According to your data, Earth is considered too primitive for official contact. The Galactic Council won't help us. So who do we call? Someone who care, Riven said. Someone who understand death worlds. Someone who want to stop harvesters. Rebecca pulled up a hologram showing the galaxy's political structure. Riven had spent weeks explaining it to them. The Council of Sovereign Worlds controlled most of the galaxy. They had rules about interfering with primitive civilizations. Earth fell far below their contact threshold. What about other Death World species? Daniel asked. You said Earth isn't the only dangerous planet. Are there others like us? Riven clicked thoughtfully. Yes, maybe 7 Death Worlds with intelligent life. But all are ignored by Council. Considered too violent. Too unstable. Too difficult. Have the harvesters gone after any of them? Rebecca asked. Not yet, Riven said. Harvesters prefer easy targets first. Garden worlds with weak defenses. But eventually they come for everyone. Daniel stood up and started pacing. An idea was forming in his head. What if we warn them? The other Death World species. If we're all going to be targets eventually, maybe we could work together. Rebecca looked at him. That's actually smart. Strength in numbers. But we need to contact them first, and we can barely get this thing working to send one message, let alone 7. One message could spread, Daniel said. If we contact one species and they contact another, it could work. First we need make device work, Riven reminded them. Then we need Earth government to believe. Then we think about galaxy. Rebecca nodded and turned back to her work. Right. One impossible problem at a time. Daniel walked to the small window and looked out at the city. Normal people doing normal things. Go to work. Buying groceries. Completely unaware that alien ships were coming to destroy everything they knew. Riven, Daniel said suddenly. Tell me more about what makes humans special. Not just that we survive. What else? Riven tilted its head, considering. Many things. Human immune system is very strong. Most species in galaxy get sick from Earth bacteria. Earth bacteria is very aggressive, but humans fight it naturally. What else? Rebecca asked, interested now. Human bones are dense. Human muscles are strong. Earth gravity is higher than galactic standard. Much higher. Most aliens would struggle to walk on Earth. Would be slow and weak. But humans are made for high gravity. How much higher? Rebecca asked. Riven manipulated a hologram showing comparative gravity. Earth gravity is 1.4 times galactic standard. Most species evolve at 0.8 or 0.9. Earth is heavy world. Daniel felt something click in his mind. So we're naturally stronger than most aliens just because we grew up in higher gravity. Yes, Riven said, but more than that. Human endurance is extreme. Most species cannot run long distance, cannot work for many hours. Earth predators chase prey for a long time, so humans evolved to run far. Humans can work all day in heat that would kill most species. Rebecca was taking notes again. This is important. If we're going to convince anyone to take us seriously, we need to show we're not helpless. We need to show we have advantages. What about mentally? Daniel asked. You said humans work together well in danger. How is that different? Riven's clicking changed tone. Very different. Most species panic under stress, break apart, fight each other. But humans do opposite. Humans become calm, focus, work together, form groups. This is very rare in galaxy. This is why human civilization survived when most would fail. Cooperation under pressure, Rebecca said. That's our evolutionary advantage. Yes, Riven agreed. And creativity. Humans solve problems in unexpected ways. Most species follow rules, follow patterns, but humans break rules when needed. Humans adaptado. Humans improvisa. This makes humans very dangerous to enemies. Daniel thought about human history. All the times humans had faced impossible odds and survived. Not through superior technology or strength, but through stubborn refusal to give up. Through working together. Through finding solutions no one expected. We can use this, Daniel said. When the harvesters come, they'll expect Earth to fall easily like other primitive planets. But we won't. We'll fight in ways they don't expect. First, we need to warn people, Rebecca reminded him. And I think I know how. She stood up and pulled out her phone, scrolling through contacts. Dr. Sarah Walters. She's an astrophysicist at the university. She also consults for the government on space programs. If anyone would listen and have the right connections, it's her. You think she'll believe us? Daniel asked. I think she'll at least look at the evidence, Rebecca said. She's smart, and she keeps an open mind. And once I show her this technology, she'll know it's not from Earth. Riven made a worried, clicking sound. Dangerous. If government take me, they might not let me help. Might keep me locked away. We'll be careful, Rebecca promised. We'll give her enough to get her attention, but not everything at once. We control the information flow. Daniel looked at the hologram still floating in the air, showing the harvester fleet getting closer. They were running out of time. In 4 months, maybe less, those ships would arrive. And Earth had no idea. Do it, Daniel said. Contact Dr. Walters. Show her the evidence. Make her understand. Rebecca nodded and started typing an email. I'll ask her to meet me at the lab tomorrow night. Private meeting, no one else. I'll show her some of the technology first, then introduce her to Riven if she seems receptive. And if she doesn't believe? Riven asked. Then we find someone else, Daniel said firmly. We keep trying until someone listens. Because giving up isn't an option. Riven reached out and touched Daniel's shoulder gently with one hand. You are brave. Both of you. Most humans would run from this knowledge, would hide, would hope someone else fix problem. But you face it. That's what humans do, Daniel said. We face things, even when we're scared, especially when we're scared. Rebecca finished the email and hit send. Done. Now we wait for her response and hope she doesn't think I'm crazy. The three of them sat in silence, watching the hologram of the approaching ships. For months, until everything changed. For months, to convince the world that the impossible was real and coming for them. For months, to prove that humanity deserved to survive. Dr. Sarah Walters stared at the holographic device for a full minute without speaking. She was a woman in her 50s with gray-streaked hair, pulled back in a tight bun. Her hands shook slightly as she reached toward the floating display of stars, then pulled back without touching it. "This is real," she whispered. "This is actually real." Rebecca stood next to her in the university's physics lab. It was late, past midnight, and they were alone. "Yes, and there's more you need to see." Dr. Walters turned to her. "Rebecca, do you understand what this means? This technology is decades, maybe centuries beyond anything we have. If this is genuine, and I believe it is, then everything changes." "It gets worse," Rebecca said quietly. She pulled up the hologram showing the Harvester fleet. "They're coming here, to Earth. We have maybe 4 months." The color drained from Dr. Walters' face as she watched the massive ships slowly approaching Earth's solar system. "How many ships?" 347, Rebecca said. "Each one capable of stripping a planet of all resources in weeks. They've done it to dozens of worlds already." "Where did you get this information?" Dr. Walters demanded. "Who gave you this device?" "Someone who tried to warn us," Rebecca said. "Someone who crashed on Earth, tried to reach our leaders. Someone I think you need to meet." Dr. Walters looked like she might refuse, but scientific curiosity won. "Show me." 20 minutes later, they stood in the maintenance shed. Riven stood in the center of the small room, all 4 arms visible, large black eyes reflecting the overhead light. Dr. Walters froze in the doorway. "Dr. Walters, this is Riven," Rebecca said. "Riven, this is Dr. Sarah Walters. She works with the space program." Riven stepped forward and spoke in clear English. "Hello, Dr. Walters. I am Kelhari. I come from star system you call Kepler 62. I crashed on Earth 3 months ago. I try to warn you about harvesters. Now I ask for help." Dr. Walters sat down hard on a folding chair. "This is insane. This is absolutely insane." "I know," Rebecca said. "We felt the same way." For the next 2 hours, Riven explained everything. The Kelhari exploration missions. The classification of Earth as a death world. The harvester threat. Dr. Walters listened without interrupting, her expression shifting from shock to horror to grim determination. "Why would they target Earth?" she asked finally. "If we're so primitive and dangerous, why bother?" "Resources," Riven said, "but also humans. Humans are special. Humans survive conditions that kill most species. Harvesters want to study this, want to understand human strength, maybe use it for weapons. We're lab rats," Dr. Walters said bitterly. "They want to experiment on us. If they capture enough humans, yes," Riven confirmed. "But if humans fight back, harvesters might decide Earth is too difficult. Might leave you alone." "Fight back with what?" Dr. Walters said. "We don't have weapons that work in space. Our most advanced spacecraft can barely reach Mars." Daniel, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. "But we have advantages they don't expect." Riven told us. "We're stronger, tougher, more adaptable than most species. And we work together when things get bad." Dr. Walters looked at him like she had forgotten he was there. "You're just a kid. How did you get involved in this?" "I found Riven dying in an alley," Daniel said simply. "I helped. That's all." Something in Dr. Walters' expression softened. "You helped a dying stranger, even though it could have been dangerous. That says something about humans, doesn't it?" "That's what I think too," Riven said. "Most species would run, would call authorities. But Daniel helped first, ask questions later. This is rare in Galaxy. This is human strength." Dr. Walters stood and started pacing. "Okay, let's say I believe all of this. which I do because the evidence is impossible to deny. What do we do? We can't fight them conventionally. We need time to prepare, to build defenses, to develop weapons. We need to warn the government, Rebecca said. Military, NASA, everyone, get them working on this immediately. I can do that, Dr. Walters said. I have contacts in the Department of Defense and at NASA. They'll listen to me, especially with this evidence. She gestured to the holographic device. But I need to take this with me. I need to show them. Riven hesitated, then nodded. Take it, but please keep me secret for now. If government take me before Earth is ready, I cannot help. Understand, Dr. Walters said. I'll keep your existence confidential for now. But eventually, people will need to know about you. Eventually, yes, Riven agreed. But not yet. Dr. Walters carefully packed the holographic device into her briefcase. I'll contact my people first thing in the morning. This will cause panic at the highest levels, but we need that panic. We need people to take this seriously. She looked at Rebecca and Daniel. What you two have done is incredibly brave and incredibly dangerous. You could have ignored this, could have hoped someone else would deal with it, but you didn't. You faced it head on. We had to, Daniel said. What else were we supposed to do? Dr. Walters smiled sadly. Most people would have done nothing. But you're right. There's no choice here. We fight or we die. She left with the device, promising to contact them within 24 hours. After she was gone, the three of them sat in silence. Do you think they'll believe her? Daniel asked. They have to, Rebecca said. The evidence is too strong to ignore. But will they act fast enough? Daniel wondered. 4 months isn't a lot of time. Riven made a soft clicking sound. Humans are good in crisis. When danger is clear, humans move fast. Work hard. Solve impossible problems. I have faith in humans. I hope you're right, Daniel said. 3 days later, Dr. Walters called Rebecca. Her voice was tight with stress. They believe me. The Joint Chiefs have seen the evidence. NASA has confirmed the device is genuine alien technology. The president has been briefed. What happens now? Rebecca asked. Emergency meetings. Task forces. Every scientist and engineer they can pull is being put on this. They're calling it Project Guardian. Top secret, highest priority. What about Riven? They want to meet Riven, but I've convinced them to wait. Right now, they're focused on the threat, not on the alien. That might change. How long do we have? Dr. Walters was quiet for a moment. They picked up something on deep space sensors. A scout probe. Small ship, probably sent ahead of the main fleet to scan our defenses. It'll be here in 2 weeks. Daniel felt his stomach drop. 2 weeks? But the main fleet is still 4 months away. The probe is faster, Dr. Walters explained. They want to see what we have before they commit the full fleet. This is actually good news. If we can stop the probe, we might convince them Earth is too dangerous to attack. How do we stop it? Rebecca asked. I don't know yet, Dr. Walters admitted. But people much smarter than me are working on it. And they want to talk to Riven. They need to understand harvester technology and tactics. Riven, listening on speakerphone, spoke up. I will help. I will tell them everything I know. But they must understand one thing. What's that? Dr. Walters asked. Harvesters expect easy victory. They think Earth is primitive and weak. If you show strength, show creativity, show that humans are dangerous, they might leave. Fear is weapon too. Fear is a weapon, Dr. Walters repeated. I'll make sure they understand that. After the call ended, Daniel looked at Riven. Are we really going to do this? Fight an alien invasion fleet? Riven's eyes seemed to glow in the dim light. Humans have no choice. But humans are survivors. Humans are fighters. And humans are not alone anymore. I help. Other species might help too. Together, maybe we win. Maybe, Daniel said. Or maybe we all die trying. Better to die fighting than die hiding, Riven said. This is human way, yes? Daniel thought about all the history he had learned. All the times humans faced impossible odds. All the times they fought anyway. Yeah, he said. That's the human way. The Harvester Scout probe entered Earth's atmosphere over the Pacific Ocean exactly 13 days after Dr. Walters had contacted the government. Daniel watched the live feed on Rebecca's laptop, his heart pounding. The probe was massive, easily the size of a small building, and it glowed with an eerie blue light as it descended through the clouds. It's ignoring all communication attempts, Dr. Walters said over the video call. She was at a military command center, somewhere Daniel was not allowed to know. Just like Riven predicted. It's here to scan, not to talk. Riven stood next to Daniel, watching the screen with those large black eyes. The alien had been working with military scientists for the past week, explaining everything about harvester technology and tactics. Now, they were about to put that knowledge to the test. Where is it heading? Rebecca asked. Looks like North America, Dr. Walters said. Probably going to scan population centers and military installations. We have fighters scrambling to intercept, but conventional weapons won't work against its shields. Then use unconventional ones, Riven said calmly. On screen, the probe descended over California, moving slowly and methodically. It scanned cities with beams of light, gathering data. Fighter jets surrounded it, but held their fire, waiting for orders. It's following standard protocol, Riven explained. Looking for technology level, military strength, population density. It thinks Earth is like every other planet. Predictable. Safe. What would make it think we're dangerous? Daniel asked. Riven's clicking changed to something that might have been amusement. Show it that Earth is not safe. Show it that nature itself is weapon. Dr. Walters' voice came through the speaker. We're implementing the plan. Stand by. Daniel watched as the military began broadcasting false signals, making it look like valuable resources were located in a specific area. The probe, following its programming, changed course immediately and headed toward the signals. Where are they leading it? Rebecca asked. Yellowstone National Park, Dr. Walters said. Right over the caldera. Daniel's eyes widened. Yellowstone sat on top of one of the largest volcanoes on Earth. Not currently erupting, but definitely active. And according to weather reports, a massive storm system was moving in from the west. You're going to use the volcano? Daniel said. Not exactly, Dr. Walters replied. We're going to create conditions the probe isn't designed for. Extreme electromagnetic interference from a storm. Superheated gases from the volcanic vents. Rapid pressure changes. Everything Earth does naturally, all at once. Riven clicked approvingly. Harvesters design shields for space combat. For energy weapons, not for natural chaos. The probe descended into Yellowstone just as the storm arrived. Lightning struck all around it, drawn to its metallic hull. The probe shields flickered and sparked as electricity poured through them. Volcanic gases rose from the ground, creating dense clouds of sulfur and steam. It's having trouble compensating, Dr. Walters said, excitement in her voice. The shields are overloading from the electrical discharge. Then the military triggered their surprise. Carefully placed charges detonated around the caldera, not enough to trigger an eruption, but enough to create a massive release of superheated steam and gas. The probe was engulfed in a cloud of scalding vapor mixed with volcanic particles. Its shields failed completely. Now, Dr. Walters commanded. Fighter jets fired missiles not at the probe itself, but into the storm around it. The explosions created shock waves that slammed the probe from multiple directions. Without shields, it tumbled and spun, unable to stabilize. Then Earth itself struck the final blow. Lightning, drawn by the ionized air from the missiles, struck the probe directly. Once, twice, 3 times. The alien craft systems overloaded and it plummeted from the sky, crashing into a rocky canyon. We got it, Dr. Walters said, her voice shaking. We actually got it. Daniel felt like he could not breathe. They had done it. They had stopped an alien scout probe using nothing but Earth's own natural weapons and human creativity. Is it destroyed? Rebecca asked. Damaged badly, Dr. Walters said. Recovery teams are moving in now. We'll salvage what we can and study the technology. Riven clicked softly. Good. Very good. Probe will send automatic signal to Harvester Fleet. Signal will say Earth defenses are stronger than expected. Will say environment is more dangerous than predicted. Will it be enough to make them turn back? Daniel asked. Riven tilted its head. Maybe not turn back completely, but maybe make them cautious. Maybe make them delay. And in that time, Earth can prepare more. Over the next week, everything changed. The existence of alien life was confirmed to the public, though Riven's presence remained classified. Governments worldwide began sharing technology and resources, working together in ways that had seemed impossible before. The salvaged harvester technology was being studied by the brightest minds from every nation. And Daniel received a message. Dr. Walters had helped him send it using Riven's repaired communication device. A simple message to the 7 other Death World civilizations in the galaxy. It said, "We are Earth. We are humans. We survived ice ages and plagues and predators with nothing but determination. The harvesters are coming for us, but we will fight. If they are coming for you too, fight with us. Death World species must stand together." 3 weeks later, the first response came. Then another. Then another. 3 alien species, all from planets as harsh as Earth, all dismissed by the Galactic Council, all targeted eventually by the harvesters. They were sending ships, not to conquer, but to help defend. Riven stood with Daniel on the observation deck of Earth's first orbital defense platform. It had been built in record time using a combination of human engineering and alien technology. More were under construction. "You did this," Riven said. "You started all of this." One act of kindness and rain led to all of this. Daniel looked at his alien friend. "I just helped someone who needed help. That's all. That is everything," Riven said. "Most species in galaxy would not do this, would not risk for stranger. But you did. And because you did, Earth's chance." Through the viewing window, they could see ships arriving. Some were human-made, clumsy, but functional. Others were alien, strange, and beautiful. All of them gathering to defend Earth. "The Harvester fleet will be here in 3 weeks," Daniel said. "Do you think we can win?" Riven clicked thoughtfully. "I think Harvesters expect easy victory. Expect primitive planet with no defenses. But they will find Earth united with other death worlds. We'll find species that survive impossible odds. We'll find humans who refuse to give up. And if we lose?" Daniel asked. "Then Galaxy will remember that Earth fought back. The humans chose to stand rather than kneel. That Death World species are not weak. This memory will inspire others. We'll start rebellion against harvesters. Either way, Earth changes Galaxy." Daniel thought about that. About how one small act of helping a starving alien in the rain had led to this moment. To Earth standing up to an enemy that had conquered dozens of worlds. To Death World species finding each other and choosing to fight together. "Riven, what was the secret?" Daniel asked. "You said there was a secret bigger than the universe." Riven's eyes seemed to glow. "The secret is this. Galaxy thinks Death World species are weak because planets are harsh. But truth is opposite. Harsh planets create strong species. Species that adapt. Species that survive. Species that care for each other because only together can they live." Riven touched Daniel's shoulder gently. "The secret is that kindness is not weakness. Cooperation is not failure. And survivors are always more dangerous than conquerors expect. Harvesters will learn this. Galaxy will learn this. All because one human boy showed mercy in rain." 3 weeks later, the Harvester fleet arrived at Earth. They found a planet ready to fight. They found ships from 4 different Death World species standing together. They found weapons that used Earth's own technology combined with alien science. They found humans who had faced extinction before and survived. The battle lasted 6 days. Earth lost ships and people. The cost was terrible, but the Harvesters lost more. They lost their reputation of invincibility. They lost the fear that made species surrender without fighting. And in the end, they retreated. The galaxy watched in shock as the Harvester fleet limped away from Earth, damaged and defeated. Word spread quickly. Earth, a primitive death world, had done the impossible. Other species, emboldened by Earth's example, began to resist. The Harvester Empire started to crack. Daniel stood in the maintenance shed where it had all started. It seemed smaller now, less important. But Riven stood there too, and that made it sacred. "I have to go soon," Riven said. "My people want me to return, want me to report what I learned here." "What will you tell them?" Daniel asked. "I will tell them that humans are special, not because they are strong or smart, though they are both, but because when they found dying stranger in rain, they helped first and asked questions later. This is what makes humans unique. This is what will make humans great among stars. Daniel felt tears in his eyes. Will I see you again? Yes, Riven promised. Earth is part of Galaxy now, part of Death World Alliance. We're friends now. Friends visit. They stood together in silence, boy and alien, looking at the empty shed that had been their command center, their refuge, their beginning. The secret bigger than the universe was simple. Kindness creates strength, cooperation defeats conquest, and survivors always find a way. Earth had learned this secret, and the galaxy would never be the same.